Okay, meanwhile we continue the presentation.
So internal amount is the trade of the assets primarily on sales cost to sell and validate cost. So let's assume a company has a computer and we can get amount selling by 320,000. Then let's assume that we can get the benefits of the amount by using it 275,000. So which is the higher amount we have to be taken as a recovery amount. So the most important thing is we are only doing the impairment if it is only the carrying amount is higher than the recoverable amount. If the carrying amount is lower than the recoverable amount, we are not going to do any impairment. So what is fair value as cost to sell? The amount company would receive from selling an asset, arm's length transaction is fair value cost to sell. And these are the costs we are considering when we are calculating fair value. For an example, broad commission related to sale, legal fees, advertising expenses, transportation costs. The most important thing we have to remind is we have to get the cost directly attributable to the assets. And when we are calculating the fair value, we have to consider the SFR is 13. We have to go to the initial market. If it is not available prices in the initial market, we have to go for the level 2 and 3, which is mentioned as the SFR is 13. So next we are going to see what is present value reviews. When we are calculating value reviews, we are considering the estimated cash inflows and outflows of the company and discounting the multiple by discounting factor. So let's see an example. The company has a machine and machine is used to manufacturing the BSAA. The product over next 3 years, then assume the first year is 150,000, second year 100,000, and third year 50,000. So how we calculate the present value we use is these are the 3 cash flows. And we have to multiply it by discounting factor. We all know how we should get discounting factor 1 divided by 1 plus r and multiplied by number of years. So as you can see, after multiplied by cash flows equal to discounting factor, we got the present value of future cash flows. So we have to get the total of the present value of future cash flows, and it's becoming 275,000. I think you got an idea about the total amount and liabilities and cost of sale. So this is the end of my presentation now. So I'm going to hand over this presentation page.
Just give me 1 minute. Hello. Here. Oh. මොකක්ද දැන ඒ කියන්නේ 3600 මේ එලින්ම ට්‍රාන්සැක්ෂන් තියෙන එක විමුවට ඒක ෂෙයා ඇඩ්ජස්ට් කරලා තියෙනවා නම් එතන ලකුණක් දෙන්න කියලා තියෙනවා. ෆේස් එකට දුන්නේ නැත්නම් ඒක දෙන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ළමයා ගෙනල්ලා නැත්නම් ෆේස් එකේ මේ ස්ටේට්මන්ට් ඔෆ් ෆයිනෑන්ෂල් පොසිෂන් වල ඉන්වෙන්ටරි කියලා බැලන්ස් එක දාලා තියෙනවා නම් එයා 3600 වෙනුවට ගලපු ප්‍රොවිජන්ස් එකක් ඇතුළේ ලකුණු දෙනවා. ඒක දුන්නොත් ආයෙ වර්කින් බලන්නේ නැහැ. හරිද? ඒතකොට ළමයා අපි සමහර වෙලාවට ළමයි ඔක වර්කින් එක කරලා ෆේස් එකට ගෙනල්ලා නැහැ බැලන්ස් එක. ඒ වෙලාවට අපි වර්කින් වල බලනවා. එහෙම බලද්දී 3600 නෙමෙයි ආයෙ ඩිසිෂන් වැලියු එක ඇඩ්ජස්ට් කරලා තියෙනවා. නෑ ඒකත් වැලියු එක කෑල්ලක් දාන්නේ. ඒක එච්චර බලන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඔව් ඒකම දේ අපි ඔව් ෂෙයා කියලා ගලපලා තියෙනවා නම් දෙන්න. ඔව් right sorry for the interruption today this A-level accounting paper marking is going on, right? Second paper marking just started, so there will be a little bit interruption, right? So sometimes the teachers call me and lecturers, they want some clarification, right? So I have to stop and answer this, right? Okay. Bit loud.
20,000. You can use this double debit. The person is income debit 20,000 surplus and income statement P&L debit 10,000 and the asset usually credit 7,000. Estimated assets recover amount organization has generating according to this function, we can calculate the requirement for cash generating it. Represent a surplus of the purchase price of an asset value. These factors include like reputation and brand recognition. Allocated to this include the transparent financial reporting, enhancing profitability and growth. Consider how to allocate for the individual assets. Selling value for excess is compared to goods to gain, and the remaining proportionate is split among the secured assets. Reversing and impairment loss. Reversing that and impairment loss, we can use these two sources. Potential reversal and non-reversing asset. Impairment from reassessment and adjustment to useful life and depreciation of residual life, irrespective of return and interest. Impairment is equal. Reassessment is impairment loss indicates that the asset estimated useful life since the last impairment.
Okay, you can skip this part. Okay. So then, do we have group number 1 who's going online? Ready? Group number 1, is it here? Group number 1, I think online, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, you can start sharing and start your presentation. Or shall I share it from this end? I think that would be easy, you know. I will share it. Right. So what is the topic? Group number 1?
Borrowing cost, sir. LKS 23.
Right. So I hope you can.
Borrowing cost, sir.
Right. So you can start.
Shall I start, sir?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay, sir.
You need to switch on the camera.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Am I audible, sir?
We can see, we can hear. Oh, yeah. Okay. Right. So you can go ahead.
Okay. Good morning. we are group number 1, and our topic is LKS 23 borrowing cost. And our team members are Udayanga, Samudra, Gayan, and Infas. And this is what we are going to present today to this presentation LKS 23. That are introduction of borrowing cost, scope, core principles, qualifying assets, capitalization, and disclosures. Here, simple introduction of borrowing cost. If a company borrowing money to buy or build something significant, the cost of borrowing that money should be part of the total cost of that things. We only include the borrowing cost that are directly linked to making or acquiring these capital specific assets. And in here, talking about the borrowing cost and how they play in a role in the cost of assets, according LKS 23. When a company borrows money to build or buy something important, we call that qualifying asset. The borrowing cost directly linked to that project become part of the total cost of assets. And if any other borrowing cost that aren't directly tied to a specific project are treated as a regular expenses. And in this slide, let's chat some key points of a standard and what costs are included in the borrowing cost. First off, LKS 23 does not deal actual cost of entity. And there are two situations where LKS 23 doesn't apply. First, if you are dealing with assets measured at the fair value, this standard does not come into the apply. And also LKS 23 is not applying when it comes to inventory proceed in large quantities on a representative basis. And let's see what's included in the borrowing cost. First up, we have interest on things like bank overdraft and both short-term and long-term borrowing. And next, finance charges. Because of finance leases are recognized in SLFS 16, and then we have got the amortization of any extra cost we might have had in setting up the loan. These are called ancillary cost. It's like additional expenses to arrange these borrowings. Next, we can include the amortization of discounts or premises related to our borrowings. So it's like accounting for extra cost to savings other over the loan period. Next, my colleges Infas will continue with the qualifying assist of this presentation. Infas.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. As my colleague explained, LKS 23 explained about two categories of asset. One is qualified asset, other one is non-qualified asset. Qualified asset means standard explained we can capitalize the cost that incurred for the qualified asset. And if a asset is non-qualified, it will be charged to a PNL, that borrowing cost of that asset charge the PNL. Then when we come into the qualifying asset which if the company will take substantial time to make to intend use or sell. And qualified asset might be inventory, property, plant and equipment, intangible asset or investment property. When we move into the next slide. Borrowing cost capitalization, when we borrow some fund to acquire asset, it can be a specific funding or general fundings. It will, if it is a specific fund, we can capitalize the interest rate, capitalize the interest that we incurred for that fund. If it is a borrowing, generally borrowed for company, from that one company bought some asset, then company should be capitalized on weighted average rate of interest that they incurred. When we come into specific borrowing, company will be acquire asset for example, company will be build a building, start to build a building from the borrowing that they specifically borrowed for that asset, for that building. Then when they capitalize in that one, they will take the interest, actual interest rate, the interest that paid for that specific loan. And if they are invest that interest on some temporary investment, then they will receive interest income from that investment. Then they should deduct that investment income from the interest expense, and balance amount should be capitalized as a cost of the asset. We'll take this example, simple example. In this example, company drawn 10 million to acquisition of property in 2023 March, as I mentioned here, and development is commenced in the same day, and company further borrowed 5 million on 1st November 2023, and they complete the development on 2023 December 1st. When we capitalize in this cost, first 10 million until this 1st December 2023, 9 months, they utilized 9 months in 8.1 interest rate. Then it will become 0.6075 million, and this 5 million, further 5 million, they utilize only until this construction is end. It only one month. Then it will become 0.337 million. Then borrowing costs capitalized only 6.3 million. This should be capitalized and take into the property, plant and equipment as a cost. And this example will explain by Udayanga. Udayanga, are you there?
Yeah, as this example, we got that 1.5 million will finance production in the 2 assets, both of which are expected to take take a year to build. Work started during the 2023 we measured, and loan facility was drawn and incurred on the 1st of January 2022, and was utilized in as follows. 1st of January, 250,000, and another assist 500,000. And in July 1st of July, assist A is 250 and assist B 500. And with remaining funds invest temporarily, the loan rate was we measured 9%, and we can invest that surplus amount funds at 7%. The borrowing cost will be made capitalized for each asset like this. In asset A, the borrowing cost is let's calculate this one. Borrowing cost asset A is to 45,000. It comes to 250,000 by borrowing cost interest 9%. And remaining 250,000 we can invest on 7% for 6 months for another project. So different between these we can take as a borrowing capitalization like as 36,250. Same as like asset B, its borrowing cost is 100,000. And is by 9% is 19,000 for a borrowing cost, and we can invest that balance amount 500,000 for 6 months in 7% in investment, and there's a difference is 72,500. Then we can take as a borrowing cost capitalization. Next. Next, general borrowing, we'll continue with.
So then,
In person.
general borrowing, when we come into the general borrowing, it means company generally borrowed some amount, and they will use that amount to build a qualified asset. Then it will be capitalized. So then they can't identify the exact interest rate for that borrowing. Because of that, company can use the weighted average rate of general borrowing to outstanding period. As when we take this example, company borrowed 10% bank loan on 1st January 2023 and another bank loan 80 million. And company use this funds for debenture, and company issue a debenture, and from that company borrowed 150 million of funds, and that 150 million company used to construct a qualified asset, piece of mining equipment, and company constructing a piece of machinery, hydro plant equipment.
Yes, you should switch on your camera.
Sorry. Company use that general borrowing for hydro plant equipment. Then company will weight the interest rate, because company totally generally borrowed 200 million, 120 million with 10% bank loan, and 80 million with 9.5% interest rate. And as I shown here, it will weighted to 9.8% of interest rate. Then company use that interest rate and calculate the borrowing cost as 3.2 billion, as I show. 30 million first, 30 million. 30 million and 20 million, and after waiting, this one 3.2 million will be borrowing cost. Then total capitalization cost will be 53.43 million. From next slide, Dan will be continuing.
Thank you very much, Elfas. In LKS 23, the capitalization period, we will capitalize the borrowing cost during the construction in progress. If to capitalize this borrowing cost, we should meet 3 conditions. First one is we have to that expenditures on the asset should be incurred, and the second one is borrowing cost should be incurred, and the third one is this activities are in progress. It should be prepare the asset for the intended use and sale. So with this, when we complete these three conditions, then we can start to capitalize this borrowing cost. So in between the capitalization period, there will be some places, some months we will be stop the construction or construction construction or in progress. So in that part, in that particular point, we will be the we need to stop the capitalization of borrowing cost. So as example, uh, the suspension of capitalization cost. As example, here in this example is mentioned that on 1st January 2023, the company is obtaining plant permission to build new office building, and construction is started on 1st March. And funds for the funding, they arrange a bank loan for 5 million, and the loan was taken from 1st April. So then interest rate of the loan is 10% per annum. And in during the construction, the month of July, it was stopped. So by 31st December, but still the building was not completed, but cost incurred due to 12 million, excluding the interest on the loan. So how we will be treat this one? So in this scenario, we will have 1st of January, we will be planning to get the permission and things, but construction will start from 1st of March. So the still this time period, January to March, this first condition is not met because we did not start the any progress. So from, but still we cannot capitalize because that the borrowing cost will be incurred on April. So that till April we cannot capitalize. So from the April we can start for the capitalize because all the condition will be satisfied. So from April to December we can calculate the borrowing cost as example in 5 million into 10%, but we cannot take from April to December because in between the July month there will be a the construction was stopped. So in for the July month we should not capitalize the borrowing cost. So for that in this scenario, for 9 to from this 9 months we need to remove the one July month, then we have to calculate the 8 months interest, then we have to capitalize that 8 months interest only. So as in mentioned here, that 5 million into 10% into then we have to calculate the 8 months, so it will be give 0.333 million. So the total cost will be with the as of 31st December, we had 12 billion incurred cost plus and this interest, then carrying amount will be 12.33 million. So in this LKS 23, the disclosure requirements will be in the financial statement. We should disclose the accounting policy adopted for the borrowing cost and the amount of borrowing cost capitalized during the period and the capitalization rate we have used. These three we have to disclose in our financial statements.
Okay, right. Can all, because we have 4 members, but only 3 are presenting, right?
Yes, sir. We had the issue. One of our team member, Sumadura, he was flying today, sir, from Sri Lanka to Maldives. Yesterday, his vacation was finished, so now he's flying. At the right this moment, he is on the flight.
The name KM,
KM Sumadura.
right? Number 20, no? Okay.
Yes,
He's
sir.
absent, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Okay then, right? So no need to proceed the disclosures, right? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Group number 4, intangible assets.
defining the rate and innovation based these are few examples of software, trademark, brand, franchises, copyrights, patents. We are moving on to this is learning outcome, advice to recognition of an intangible asset and how to measure measurement of intangible asset and develop disclosure about the intangible asset. Also, when we are moving on to scope, the standard does not apply to intangible assets covered by the standard, such as goodwill arising from the generation covered by LCS 38, but not recognized as an asset. Also, financial assets defined in LCS 32 and recognition and measurement of economic and evaluation assets defined in LCS 6. Also, expenditure on the development and extraction of minerals, oil, gas, natural gas, and similar non-generative resources. When we are moving to definition, intangible assets are identical. If identical means it's separable or separable. It means it can be sold, transfer, or licensed, and if it is an intangible asset arises from the legal and contractual rights. Also, non-monetary means it's cash, non-cash or non-cash equivalent. Without cash or cash equivalents, also can be generate economic benefits, but can be also these are the key criteria controlled by NPS, the result of past events, and its expects future economic benefits flow. And then we are moving to recognition criteria. To be recognized in the financial statement, these should be met in the initial record. These are meet the recognition criteria of the framework. Future economic benefits and to the assets being flown in the entity, and the cost of assets can be measured the reliability. If the criteria made under the financial intangible asset standard, they can initially recognize as the cost. My time is over. I can move to
Thank you, Tanuja. I hope you got an idea about up to recognition criteria. So let's do some examples. So these are the some kind of transactions that we can identify as generally intangibles. But internally generated goodwill, we cannot, because that cannot be separable, because it's combined to the organization, all kind of activities. So, but under LCS 13, we cannot identify as a goodwill, and also business combination that can be, because when a transaction happens kind of a business combination, we can separately identify. So that will come under this standard. And also brand value also say like that. Internally generated customer list, that cannot, because we can't control it, because we can't control the customers in our entity, so that cannot be recognized. And also internally generated branding also is like that. Computer machine, that's more into the computer and equipment, because the significant thing related to the hardware part. So therefore that also cannot identify. Acquired patents and the standard software versions can be identified. So let's see an example. An intangible asset is measured by the company at fair value. The asset was revalued by 40,000 in 2023. And there's a revaluation surplus of 40,000 in the statement of financial position. At the end of 2024, the asset is valued again, the downward valuation of 50,000 equal. So the accounting treatment. So in 2023, there's a revaluation, but it doesn't say that 2023 accounts are the closing balance is 40,000. So there's a 40,000 revaluation identification audit. So we don't know what the amount is 2022 balance also. So therefore we can identify the revaluation transaction and intangible assets increase in 40,000 and the reserve evaluation reserve credited to the 40,000. And again, there's another downward transaction in 2024, 50,000. So in that scenario, there's already 40,000 in the evaluation reserve, 40,000. So that will reverse by debiting the evaluation account. But the difference 10,000 can be identified profit and loss. Therefore, the intangible assets credit 50,000. So when we come to the measurement, initial measurement in intangible, we can identify it as cost. There are some kind of transaction separately acquired in cash as part of business combination, exchange on non-monetary assets, and the government grants and internally generated intangible assets. So in separate acquired cash transaction, there are some examples: cost of employee benefits, professional fees, testing cost, but it's not include the cost of product or service, cost of conducting business in new location with new clients. And the business combination also, it is cost, but valued at the fair value on the acquisition date, and it's separate from the goodwill. And acquired free of charge under the government grant, initially at fair value, or there can be any nominal value, so we can identify as that scenario. So there are some examples. Airport landing rights, license to operate radio or TV station, and also the non-monetary transaction, exchange transaction, that is also initially at fair value, unless exchange transaction like commercial substance, fair value neither the assets received or not, asset given by clearly measurable, if not at carrying value of the asset given up. And also internally generated cost incurred in the recognition criteria, that is we will come to the record in the research and development part. So the subsequent measurement we can divide into two parts, that is cost model and the fair value model. So you can see how the formula given there: intangible assets at cost minus accumulated amortization plus accumulated impairment loss, and also the fair value model. Intangible assets can be identified fair value minus subsequent amortization plus subsequent account impairment losses. So this is the major part that we can identify in this standard research phase and the development phase. So if there are any research phase that can be mainly identified, it's an investigation and to gain a knowledge. So that maybe that attribute to the asset, or that can be like we don't know, like because it's in the development, not in the development stage. So that can be identified in the profit and loss. But development phase is the kind of application of the research findings. So that is related to after the research phase only we come to the development stage, and for the production and before the commercial start of production or use. In that scenario, there are 6 main categories we can identify called PIRET: proper future economic benefits, intention complete and use for selling, resources identified and available to complete and use or sell, ability to use or sell the asset, technical feasibility and expenditure reality measurable. That means even if we identify as it's a development phase, if these 6 criteria are not met, we cannot identify them as an asset. So that's all my part. I'm going to the
Thanks to me. With this, I would like to talk about the useful life of intangible asset. Useful life of intangible asset we can divide into two as finite useful life and indefinite useful life. Go to the next slide. When considering the foreseeable limits, there is a foreseeable limit to net cash flow in finite useful life, but there is no foreseeable limit to net cash flow in indefinite life. Indefinite useful life. When considering the amortization, amortization in the finite useful life is amortization start when the asset is available for use. Amortization end when asset is classified as held for sale for redesign. When considering the amortization in indefinite useful life, not amortized, but their useful life is reviewed annually, and there are tests for impairment annually. Let's talk about the factors in assessing useful life, expected usage, life cycle, complete action, control period, contractual terms, industry stability, we can recognize as the factors in asset useful life. When we determine the intangible asset useful life, we consider future maintained expenditure which are needed to perform asset standard level, not consider planned future expenditure. Period of control and legal limits. The useful life of an asset arising from contractual or other legal rights should not exceed the period of the right. When considering the residual value of intangible asset with the useful life is assumed to be zero unless the third party commits to purchase it for an active market exists. That's the end of my part. I would like to invite Abhishek to continue. Thanks.
Normally, the carrying about an internal process. I explained what is the internal process. The determine whether an intangible asset is internal entity applied to the case that is, and also standards explain how to entity is normal and carrying about of the assets. It's determined the amount asset recognized or reserved for internal process. Let's move to the next slide. Retirement and disposal of intangible asset. How to intangible asset disposal is first one is intangible asset is we recognize is have any economical benefits are expected or non-economical benefits is expected from its useful or disposal. Next is how the gain or losses disposal of intangible asset. It has a figure that profit or loss the financial statement. The other one is special one is how to portion of finance lease or sales or donation according to the documents as India SLFR is 15 and 16 to sell and recognized as the standard. The other one is replacement of retirement losses. So impairment asset, the replacement of impairment asset recognized as the carrying amount. The replacement can be location as original cost. And also my part is over. Thank you, Mr. Good morning to all of you. I'm going to discuss about the disclosure mission program effective date of the standard. This is the last my part is standard. Under disclosure standard, mainly focus on the following topics. First one is annual, second annual assets measured after recognition using the evaluation model. Third one is research and development expenditure. Fourth one is other information. Under the first topic, standard expenses, both outline disclosure requirements for releasing regarding annual assets salary related and other annual assets. Under the second topic, standard disclosure effective date of evaluation in amount of evaluating annual asset and related surplus. Then third topic, standard disclosure the date amount of recognized research and development expenditure. For fourth topic is standard disclosure transparent comprehensive disclosure of intangible assets, clarify fully amortized assets, still in use and significant unrecognized funds. This slide we are talking about the transition from standard and effective date. Standard mainly highlighted two topics under this area. First one is change of civil asset and second one is early application. Exchange of asset means if exchanges of asset was measured before the standard distributed based on the carrying amount of the asset given now. There is no restatement of the carrying amount of the acquired asset to with fair value. Early application means entity encouraged to apply the standard before the distributed, but must also apply SLFRS 3 and LKS 6 is doing so. Finally, we have required main for conclusion in this standard. First one is intangible assets are divided by LKS 38 as identical non-monetary asset without physical substance. Second one is an intangible asset is initial measured at cost and then under the cost of in the case of the evaluation model. Third one is research cost and cost are recognizing profit and loss, development cost and recognized as an asset if they meet certain criteria. Last one is case 38 requires a number of general disclosures together with additional disclosure about research and development expenditure and intangible asset research using the evaluation model. Our presentation is finished. Thank you for
Group number 5.
Good morning, all of you. Our topic is investment property under LKS 40. Our team members are follows. Our main content of overview and recognition criteria, initial and subsequent measurement, and transfers of investment property, new recognition disclosure, finally we introduce question and answer. LKS 40, LKS 40 as per investment property is rent a building or land part of a building to earn rental and for capital appreciation rather than the following conditions such as use production or supply of services for the administration purpose, and other is selling the ordinary course of business. In the investment property, we can introduce as an example land purchased by the entity without purpose, such as the land person who purchased the land without purpose and the market price has increased in the future, then the person is selling the market price and the land is rented out for a vehicle park and such as they expected to rental income in the future, and land is keeping the capital appreciation, which I introduced. They hope to sell in the highest market rate in the company, and such as building land held for sale in the market price become attractive, and such as attractive also in the future they can sell in the most suitable price. Another thing is, we can introduce as example the building and land in company is 8 million. The 4 million is going to be saved, but the building is dilapidated in the future and stack value is 0, and the land is available to sell in the future because of the market price is very attractive. We can use as an that is LKS 40 as an investment property. Other thing, building held for lease out in the future for the purpose of the earning rental. That's like investment property, and also the building is vacant and but it's not held in the without purpose. It can show under the case 40. Other thing, not time investment property, we can get some old reports of business from assets such as inventories, and other thing, land is rented out without purpose, and third parties to renter, and building sales in the future for the purpose of rental income we can get as a investment property. This is my part. I hand over to Ashley to give you the presentation.
I will continue the only one that is 40. First part is relationship between parent and subsidiary. The building rented out by the parent or subsidiary can be recognized under case 40 in the books of reserve. Let's how can we the statement of recognition in income and expenses. Rental income in the subsidiary form from subsidiary we have recognized in income statement, and any changes of fair value recognized in profit or loss, and we can identify the even if it is under LKS 40, we have to identify ancillary service. Even if it is ancillary service have been provided, should be considered at the level of significance. In this line, whether the properties are eligible property. Let's think like this. Even the building, imagine a building, is rented out to other, and if there is provide any other services, extra services to provide the people to renting their building. So like maintenance and security services, it can be recognized as a investment property. So let's move to the other part. This is the recognition criteria of the good functions of the case 40. First one is the it's possible that the future economic benefit that are associated with the investment property, and second one is the investment property can be cost convention reliability. So when these two happens, we can recognize as a case 40 under recognition criteria. So even if it is recognized under case 40 definition in investment property, we have identified recognition criteria. When these two happens, to satisfy the recognition criteria in investment property, and let's think like this. If a building is rented out, then we have monthly rental fee by under redemption criteria. There is if the building can be bring up to the future benefit, and the cost can be measured reliably. It is that comes under at least 40. So we have to show the we can show the books of accounting our financial statement. Thank you.
there are two measurements of the investment quality, investment initial measurements and the subsequent measurements. Understanding these measurements, you can push it in the decisions and the decisions and the reporting, financial reporting. And under the initial measurements, you can see the all of the investment property can measurement under the its cost. And all the expenditures are included at the period due to the acquisition of the cost. In the expenditures are included transaction cost and legal fees and the transfer taxes and etc. Likewise, which is necessary to acquire the investment property. And in the after recognition, we can measure the cost value and the fair value model. In the cost model, if you think you are measuring the investment property under the cost model, you have to apply the another accounting standard of the LTS 16 of property plant and equipment. In that, under the cost model, you have to cost model depreciate the cost of the accumulated depreciation. In the depreciation is the cost model. We can see more calculated under the revaluation, and also depreciation can calculate under the investment property useful lifetime. You can say if you are measuring the investment property and the value, you have to apply the remeasure the investment property for each year. And also, the most important point of the part is not depreciation charge under the value, and also the all gain and losses included and charged to the profit or loss statement of profit or loss. And also, in the value model is defined under the second part is the it is called the amount is passed on the sale of the investment property. It is already the transaction between market participation and the measurement. In order to some circumstances, we have to define measure the fair value. In the standard says the fair value standard says the various method of how to calculate the fair value model. Example, price active market, risk price active market, and also discounting cash flows of projections. And also, if the impossible to measure the fair value at the sometimes they we can change the model to fair value with the cost model. I think we can have some idea of that. I will invite to speak.
Some connection problem. Okay, right. Yes.
We can transfer investment profit to other categories only there is a change of use. But those changes must be evidenced by following. Number one is the commencement of the board of education, commencement of the development with a view to sale, end of board of education for the purpose of operating this, end of construction or development for an non-certain property in the course of construction or investment, and commencement of operating this another party. When we talking about derecognition, investment property can be derecognized on disposal or when permanently withdrawn from the use. Then we should recognize the gain or loss to the P&L. Gain or loss we will calculate from the carrying amount of the asset deduct from the net disposal proceeds. When talking about disclosures, these are the main disclosures we should recognize in the financial statements. Whether it applies the cost model or fair value model, the methods and assumptions used to determine the fair value of investment properties, the amounts recognized in the profit and loss, and the reconciliation between carrying amounts of investment property at the beginning and the end of the period. Over to you, Rashid.
Thank you, Suki. Finally, I would like to explain the example question for your easy understanding. ABC Company Private Limited organized investment property with the carrying amount of 16 million as at 30th March 2023. It was purchased rupees 20 million by the company previous back from the current financial year, and it is used for get ensure rental income. Its initially useful lifetime is valid for 15 years, and due to the market condition, company decided to use the property as a warehouse at the end of the financial year 2024. And its market values are as below. As at 31st March 2021, 22 million, 2022, 25 million, 2023, 30 million. Requires property and loss and balance sheet extract for each year. First one is if the company uses the cost model. Second one is if the company uses the fair value model. Firstly, we can represent the investment property account. We should initially recognize the purchase amount for the investment property. In the beginning of the account, cash credited and investment property debited 20 million, and each year should recognize depreciation as 1 million 333 and 1,323 amount. It is calculated by 20 million divided by 15 years. And finally, we can represent the final amount as at 31st March and 2023, 16 million. Now we can recognize this property as a warehouse end of the financial year 23-24. It is we should recognize the carrying amount of this investment property. It is under transfers investment property to owner corporate property. And we can
okay, you can move to the next slide.
The second one is fair value model. We can initially recognize the purchase amount of the this property, and each year we can revalue this property to its fair value amount. Then we can give out the statement of profit and loss period of ended March each year, and fair value gains are 2 million, 3 million, and 5 million. Then, as per the question, it is transferred to warehouse. It is applied the LK 16, and in the fair value model, we should transfer as the fair value amount of this property, and in the statement of financial position, we can represent under investment property in 2021 and 2023, and property plant investment in 2022.
Okay. Last group number 6.
Hello everybody, yes, first I visit other members and previous in this company, speaking of the Hafiz and Jason. This is our content of our presentation. We are presenting our properties, Srilanka or SAEs. Then we discuss what are the SME and identify the primary source scheme. We identify the primary source scheme, full SME are selected from the municipal each section of the SLSR for SME are like diverse. Let's see what are the SME. SME from various size. As our institute definition, small and medium size entities are entities do not have public accountability and that entities publish general purpose finance statement. General purpose finance statement means they are prepared finance statement for revenue department for taxation purpose and bank to loan purpose. Then previous slide told they prepare a general finance statement. In this slide, you can see the what are the components of their finance statement. Statement of financial, income statement, statement of changing equity, cash flow, and notes. Then I am going to highlight what are the percentage difference in total sales base and SLSR for SME in this component. First, statement of finance position. The SLSR for SME does not require to statement of finance position at the beginning of the term period. Then, income statement. The SME allowed to prepare a single statement of comprehensive income and returns in phase 2 separate statement and statement of comparative income and statement of continuity. Then we can in SME we can make the statement of changes equity when if there is no foreign investment law withdrawal other than dividends. Then if we see what are this highlight area, sample state finance state. This is what I told in single statement of in statement of comparison income and returns for returns. This is the balance sheet. Then I'm going to present you how the SME reference SME on the biological asset. In LAS 41, full Excel are required to fair value to PNL together to recognize all valuing assets. But SME can apply SME can measuring at cost base any accumulated depreciation and any accumulated impairment losses that value assets in that cost measure. Let's see in the example. Here I give the example question. In what I get this case, ABC Pioneer Limited acquired 100 million petrol on 31st December at cost of 50,000 each. Then some of the information given fair value per unit and selling fee. In previous, as a previous I told, in full is SLA required to calculate, required to identify value finance statement of value assets in fair value less cost to sale, and that is presenting that way in financial position. But as the previous slide told, the SME can go to cost method. But anything measuring valuable asset that they are cost based, they are cost method. The SME have to disclose depreciation of valuable asset, the useful life for depreciation rate, the depreciation method used, and Because credit amount and the estimated interest at the beginning and ending of period. This is what I told. In estimating presenting biology asset. Then I invite to long term continuous.
Thank you, Nisha. Good morning, everyone. I'm now going to present about inventories in SME. Yeah, introduction is just derived from the LKS to mention. The primary issue in accounting for inventories in the amount of cost to be recognized as an asset and credit program in the relevant revenues and recognized. The second one will become SM in SME, which does not consider as inventories, work in progress, financial instrument, biological assets, so those are covered by another standard. As an example, financial instrument, LKS 11 will be explained when valid. Next will come point is which does not apply to measurement of the inventories in SME, agriculture and forest products, and commodity products. There are two types of in the measurement of inventories. One is lower cost, next one is estimated selling price less cost to complete cycle. That is impairment of asset not payable. Apart from the SME, there are another two types in the valuation. One is lower cost and net realizable value. This coming by the first formula, there are four types actually. Specific identification, that's the specific or related to the cost. Next, FIFO, weighted average cost. Last one is LIFO. In the present, LIFO is not commonly used by the entities. That's a there are two examples. This one is scenario one related to the FIFO and weighted average method example. Pencil company limited manufacturing pencil and product following 3 unit at cost rupees 20 and 5 unit at 30, 500 scope 40. There are 6 units left at the bank. This is how the inventory using for the cost product. As a FIFO method is easy 2 units at 35 unit, 4 units at 45 unit, 2020. The rest of the total units 12 units. So 6 units sale or current 6 units left. Weighted average as a weighted average method, 3 units we calculated 2020, 5 units 1020, 4 units 420. Out of that total 12 units, so 185. That is net realizable value, and this is more applicable to SME other entities. So cost model is 900. The net realizable value formula is selling price minus estimated modification cost to the enabled sale, estimated marketing cost NRV. Cost is 900, NRV 700. So though we should take as lower cost. So that's why we take as a 700. So next is how we impairment in SMEs as an introduction. Case 86 as introduction. Entity assess the end of each reporting period and is to impair. So as example, damage, obsolescence, and declining selling prices. So this process usually impairment process economics or events in public recorded. There are two types in recognizing and measuring impairment loss. One is impairment loss is categories immediately represented. Or if carry value the amount impairment loss is treated as a reduction in revaluation gains. But most appropriate method for SME is first one. This is my part. I would like to next request Galle.
Thank you, Doctor. Next, I would like to explain what the HAC the financial instrument recommendation and the measurements. Here, I have differentiate both the how is applicable for the full case and for the SMEs. For the full case, the requires specification of all financial instrument into categories based on their characteristics and profiles. Also uses contextual for recognitions and measurements of financial instruments leading to potential for detailed accounting entries and disclosures. Also requires extensive disclosure of financial instruments. Here I have mentioned an example. A company with various instruments in bonds and shares, they need to specify each instrument based on its characteristics and apply detailed measurement rules for the each category. For the SMEs, offers simplified definition of financial instruments to make loans and receivable and borrowings and payments. Provide simplified rules for recognitions and measurements of loaning of modifying objects with respect to related parties. Also requires fewer and less details disclosures about financial instruments. Here I can mention an example for SMEs. As small businesses pay receivables and payables, they seem to specify them as amount and receivables or borrowing payments and employs basic recognitions and measurements tools. Next, the LTS statements after the reporting period. For the good case, the requires identification the individuals of all material events occurring after the reporting period or before the financial statements are authorized for issue. Also requires disclosures of the nature and financial impact of these events or a statement that there were no material events. Also disclosures tend to be more detailed.
Okay. Right.
The case can use after reporting period. How the case can use? The case identification can use of all material events occurring after the reporting period, but before the financial statements are authorized to issue. Also, require disclosures of the nature and financial impact of these events or a statement that there are no material events. And the disclosures tend to be more detailed and specific. For example, I mentioned here, the significant fire damage of property after the reporting period, they should disclose with estimate radar cost and potential impact on future cases. Then, like for the SMEs, requires identifications and disclosures of only non-existing events which are significant when occurring after the reporting period that provides evidence about conditions existing at the end of the reporting period. They does not require disclosure from existing events, which are events that affect the amounts recognized in the final statement of the current period. Also, disclosures are simplified and less detailed. For example, discover an error in the financial statement after the reporting period. Disclose if it qualifies as non-existing event without necessarily qualifying the event. Next, the LKS 20 borrowing cost. LKS 20 requires that borrowing cost directly attributable to the acquisition, construction, or production of qualifying assets are included in the cost of assets. All other borrowing costs are expensed as incurred. Also, I have mentioned two examples how it differs from the SMEs and the full LKS 23. For full LKS 20, capitalization of borrowing cost requires capitalizing borrowing cost incurred for qualifying asset, example construction of new property under specific criteria. This means spreading the cost over the asset's useful life instead of expensing them immediately. Next for the SMEs, direct expense. Non-borrowing costs are expensed directly in the period incurred, simplifying the accounting procedures. And the limit exceptions, capitalization might be required for a specific situation like borrowing directly related to the equivalent qualifying assets, but with simplified criteria compared to the IFRS. Next, I would like you for this evaluation.
Good morning, everyone. Let's look at how the past question may differs from case 60. So, when it comes, if the payment is deferred beyond the normal credit term, in a self past question, the cost is the present value of all future payments. But when we look at case 60, the difference between the cash price equivalent and the total payment is recognized as interest over the period of credit, unless such interest is capitalized in accordance with case 23.
එකයි නෝට් එකට එකයි ෆේස් එකේ ලකුණු කොහොමද යනවා නෝට් එකේ ලකුණු ඉන්න නම් එයා නෝට් එක වෙන්නන්නේ calculation यागी कोई बात नहीं तेरे बेटा ये वाला बड़ा तेरे बेटा तीन वाला देना तेरे तेरे बेटा मैंने थोड़ी का सामान्य नहीं एक देने ओ एक देने okay shall we
when we look at the case, the property contract is equivalent to 10%. So, a plan to dispose of an asset for the previous period is an indicator of income, and there is no special 10% classification in SL1 question. But when we look at SL1 it requires special treatment for non-current assets 10%. The case of intangible assets. For the SMEs and entities shall recognize expenditure incurred internally on an intangible asset, including all expenditure for both research and development activities as an expense according to section 18.14. But in full LKS 38, the entity shall classify internally generated assets as research phase and development phase. Expenditure of research shall be recognized as an expense when it is incurred, but in the development phase of an internal project, an entity can, in some instances, identify an intangible asset and demonstrate that the asset will generate probable future economic benefits. In the case of investment property, SME states that investment property only fair value can be measured reliably without undue cost or effort. We can use fair value through P&L. Otherwise, must treat investment property as PPE using section 17. But in case 40, this pure accounting policy choice, the entity can choose either cost model or fair value through P&L. So this is how we classify investment property. Whether we can earn rentals for capital appreciation or both, or otherwise if it is used for production, supply of goods or services and business purpose, it is LKS 60, or if it is for sale in alternate course of business, it is LKS 2. Development phase.
Still final part of this presentation. So we are going to look at the construction contract is case level. So its objective of this standard is attached to accounting to the construction contract in contact and financial statements. So its objective is to how to recognize the revenue and cost associated with the construction. Term of this overtime and considering the nature of the construction. So when it comes to construction contract, it's an agreement to build a asset or group related to asset. So and a fixed price contract means the contract agreed to fixed price for entire projects. So let's move to the cost plus contract. So it depends on the contract is reimbursed for the allowable cost plus fee. So when it comes to revenue recognition, so this contract revenue include the initial agreement, agreed amount adjustment for variation claims and incentive payments. So revenue is recognized progressively based on the state of the completion of using the methods like the incurred cost. So when it's the disclosure part, entity must disclose the information about the contract revenue with that the state is complete. So next we move to the standard. So the revenue in SMB is level. So this scope of this standard is
hello. Oh. First එකේ මාර්ක්ස් කියනවා කියන්නේ first එකේ මාර්ක්ස් කියලා මෙහෙමයි first එකේ මාර්ක්ස් ඉන්නේ ඇඩිෂනල් ඇබිලිටි කරන්න ඕනේ වගේ විදිහට කියන්නේ. ඒ නිසා අපට සාම්පල් එක චෙක් කරන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඇඩිෂනල් තමයි චෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ. මෙයාට බලුත් ඉඳලා සාම්පල් එකක් බලලා දාන්න ඕන කරේ. නෑ සාම්පල් එක චෙක් කරන්න. Okay.
Revenue is essentially education. So the scope of this standard is revenue is determined when the recognize the revenue when there is a probable future economic benefit when the upload of the incorporated companies. This benefit can be measured and reliable, and the standard identified as a circumstance which these criteria will be revenue will recognize. It also provides a practical guidance to the application of this criteria. So the revenue will check which is the revenue recognizing point. So revenue is recognized when the risk and reward of the ownership is transferred to the buyers. Sales of good. So outcome of this service transaction can be reliable estimated. The service rendered. Economic benefits are probably to the flow with the entity and
hari kamarnya කියන්න. නෑ ඒකට දෙන්නේ නෑ. ඒ කියන්නේ ට්‍රයිල් බැලන්ස් එකේ තියෙන කැසිටිස් කියනවා යා මුකුත් පෙර වැඩක් කරන්නේ නෑ. එහෙම දෙන්න එපා. නෑ ඔව් ඒ කියන්නේ යා ගේන්න ඕනේ යාට ලතාගේ කියන්නේ ට්‍රයිල් බැලන්ස් එකේ තියෙන එක නෙමෙයි. යා වැඩක් කරලා ගේන්න ඕනේ. ඔව්. ඔව්. නෑ. එයා මොකක් හරි ඔව් එයා ඒ කියන්නේ සිචුේෂන් මොනවා හරි ඇඩ්ජස්ට් කරලා ගේන්න.
So the entity must disclose certain criteria when it comes to the financial statement, some of the revenue recognition policies, and including stage of completion, method of service, and amount of revenue from each significant category. So kind of a good goods, services, interest, royalties, and dividend. And revenue from exchange of the goods or services. Last one is a contingent liabilities and assets related to the revenue recognition. So measurement. So revenue should measure at the fair value of consideration, receipt or receivable fair value. Considers factors like that, trade discounts, volume, rebate, and financial arrangements. So we move to the next standard. The provision, contingent liability, and contingent asset in SNB, a case service summary. So in this standard, the section, in standard the section applies to all provisions of the contingent liability and contingent asset.
Okay, right. Okay, so that. With that, you can sit. Style comment on all these groups. So, or you need a break? A break, right? More, mama, these standards are in the syllabus, right? So, but we are not going to cover as separate lectures, as I told you. But will be tested even examination, right? So I will use your slides and give you the brief main points. This will be tested with the company activities, right? So we had the company accounts initial part, then we move to the consolidation. Then examination type company question, there can be tangible asset, impairment, investment property. Likewise, the standard will be linked, right? So that I will take one by one standard and I will comment on your presentation. As well as you have a group report for 10 marks that is from the same topic, right? So I make it easier. you have 3 continuous assessment in FR: group presentation, group report, and the classroom test. So presentation and report I am giving from the same topic, right? So that will reduce the workload. So some of the groups, they have covered the content adequately, so you can use the same content for the report. Since it is standard, you have to be very strictly follow the standard, right? So if you have deviating from the standard, then that should be rectified in the report, right? So I will comment on all that. So we'll take a short break around 15 minutes and start the discussion. Oh, bisa kira-kira hatan dari kan? Oh, jadi bisa kau hatai. Ini istirahat hai, jangan menak hai. Tapi ini gunakan dengan isi kata ini ada itu dia. Dah, ini सामान्य कभी ini पूरा नहीं खाए, खाए तो नहीं खाए. Ini ya, ini seperti hard nak खाए, dah tak tahu खाए. Hard खाए, dah nak नहीं खाए. Ini kan सामान्य pattern एक होता है. Oh, खाया ni dah नहीं खाए. Dah oh, सामान्य. පස්සේ 1 ලක්ෂයක් දෙනවනේ ඒක. ඔව්. ඔව් තියෙන්නේ. එයාට එකක් නැති වෙනවා ඒක හරි. ඒක අපි ඒක ජෙනරලි ගත්තා නමුත් කියන්නේ අපි යාට මොකද දැන් ඒක අපුරු දෙයක්. ඒතර පරණයිනේ. ඒ නිසා අපි ඩිසිෂන් එක ගත්තොත් මොකද එතන හදන්න තැනක් නෑ. ඒ නිසා ඔව් ඒක එහෙම යනවා. ඔව් ඒක මේ පාර කතා කරා ඒ කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් නම් 3ට 2යි නම් 2ට 1යි 1ට නැහැ. ඒක සාමාන්‍ය. නමුත් ඔය ඩිසිෂන් වල එදා තීරණය කරන්නේ 2ටක් දෙනවා 1ටත් එකක් දෙමු කියලා. ඔව් ඔව්. ඔව්. ආයෙත් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඔව්. නෑ මෙහෙම ක්‍රෙඩිට් කරලා තියෙනවා කියලා. ඒක දෙකේ එකක් හරි නම් දැන් ඉතින් අපිට බලලා දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ජර්නල් එන්ට්‍රියෙන් අපි ලකුණු දෙන්නේ. ඒකට එකක් වෙන මොකක් හරි වරද්දලා දීපොත් ලකුණු දෙන්නේ නෑ. නමුත් එයා අතන එක්ස්පෙන්ස් දෙකම ETF කිව්වොත් දෙන්න බෑ. ඔව් එකක පේයබල් නම් අනික එක්ස්පෙන්ස්. ඒ කියන්නේ එකක එක්ස්පෙන්ස් තිබිලා අරක පේයබල් නැතිවත් කමන්නේ. අතර පේයබල් තිබිලා අතන එක්ස්පෙන්ස් තුනක් කමන්නේ. ඒක අන්ඩර්ස්ටුඩ්නේ. එයා දන්නවනේ. නෑ ඒක බලන්න ලේසි වෙන්න දුන්නේ ලදාගේට කියලා ඔය එක වැඩක් නෑ. ඒක ගෙනලා යා වැඩක් කරලා ලකුණක් අරන් තියනවා නම් ඒක දෙන්න පුළුවන්. අපි එදා මොකක්ද කිව්වනේ ඒක ඩිසිෂන් එකක් ගත්තා නේද? මේ ඩිසිෂන් එක ටීචර්ස්ලා සමස්තයෙන් අහලා කාටවත් සැකයක් තියෙනවා ඉසුරු දෙයක් උත්තර අහන්න. මොකද මම අතර ඔතේ ඉන්නකොට ඉසුරු පල්ලෙහා ඉස්සරහ ගියා ඒක නෝට් කරගත්තා. හරි. ඒක ඩේටාස් කියලා තිබ්බට කමක් නැහැ. එහෙමනම් අපි දුන්නේ නෑනේ. අපි ඒක මොකක් හරි කියන්න ඕනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ යම් කුත් නෑ නැති ලක්ෂණ මොකද කිව්වනේ ලක්ෂණ දෙන්නේ. පෙරවැඩ එන්නේ. පෙරවැඩ වලදී හරි. පෙරවැඩ වලදී ලක්ෂණ විතරයි බලන්න. ගිනුමේදී නම බලන්න නෑ. එක ඒ කියන්නේ ඔව් එක තැනක පොඩ්ඩක් මොකක් හරි බලන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද සමස්තයක් කියලා අපිට පේනවා නම් එයා එක ලියලා නෑ නිකන් පුදුම ලියන්න නැතුව වගේ ලියනවා නම් ඩිස්ක්‍රිප්ෂන් වල නම් ඒක කන්සිඩර් කරන්න. මොකද කියන්නේ ඒක දිනනද පුදුම තමයි. ඊට පස්සේ අතර තියෙන මොකද්ද account එකේ තියෙන වියදම්. ඔව්. ඔව් හරි හරි. හරි හරි. ඔව්. නෑ මෙතන වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මෙතන අපි අරගෙන සටහනක් නෑ නේද? වියදමක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. දැන් ඔබ ළමයා හයිපොතටිකලි විතරක් දාන්නේ. නෑ නෑ ඔකේ බලන්න තියෙන්නේ මොකක්ද තියෙන්නේ? ඒ ඩිස්ක්‍රිප්ෂන් එක මොකක්ද තියෙන්නේ? accrued expenses. හරි. ඒ accrued expenses වෙන මොකද ඩිස්ක්‍රිප්ෂන් එක ගන්න accrued operating expenses හරි. ගානේ තියෙන්නේ මොකක්ද කියන්නේ? exactly නෑනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔක අදාළ වෙන්නේ exactly අපි හිතමු rent හරි tax හරි මොකක් හරි දිනනවා නම් ඒ ගණන් විදිහ හරි. නමුත් මේ ගානේ එක ඉග්නෝ ඒකයි ඉග්නෝ කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේක බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ මේක මුදලින් දරන කිව්වමත් තියෙනවා. ඒක වියදම් කිව්වට දාලා තියෙනවා. ගැටලුවක් නැහැ. මොකද අනිත් එක ඒක වියදම් කිව්වට මානයට මාරු කරන්නත් පුළුවන් සමහර වෙලාවට. ඒකනම් ඩෙබිට් කරලා තිබ්බොත් ඔක එතනින් සෙටල් වෙලා පියලා යනවා. එහෙමත් පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි වියදම් කිව්වට දානවා. ඊට පස්සේ accrued credit එක වියදම් credit කරන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට බැලන්ස් එකේ තියෙන යනවා නෙමෙයි. ඒ නිසා ඔය දීලා තියෙන එකේ කිසි ගැටලුවක් නැහැ. ළමයා අර උගක් හිතලා අපිට හදලා තිබ්බොත් අපිට ඒක ලකුණු දීමට සැලකිල්ල ගන්න කියලා. සහ ඒ කියන්නේ කියන accrued expense එක settle කරනවා නම් මේකේ එතනට යන්නේ නැත. මොකද ටීචර් සම්මාන ඒක කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. යාලා කියන කතාව. නමුත් මේ ගාන ඉතර කරපු නෑ. මේ ගාන නිශ්චිත වියදමක් කියලා ඒක accrued එකක් තිබිලා වියදමක් කියනවා නම් ඔය කියන කතාව හරියි. operating expenses කියලා ඒතර ඔය accrued expenses වෙන එකක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඒක මේකට අපි දැන් මේ ළමයට ලකුණු දීමට ඒක මේක රිලේට් කරලා හදලා දෙනවා ලකුණු දුන්නාට කමක් නැහැ. නමුත් ඒක කරුවියද කියලා කියන්නේ දෙලා නැහැ. මොකද මේ ගානේ පර්පස් එක මේක අදාළ නැහැ මේ ඉල්ලන ප්‍රයිවට් බුක්ස් එක. හරි. උගන්නන විදිහේ එකක් නෑ කියන්නේ මේක මේ ළමයට මේක ඇත්තටම මේක 240ක් තමයි. මොකද අර ඔපරේටින් කියලා නෑ. ඒක මෙහෙමම වෙන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් ළමයා එහෙම හිතලා දාලා තියෙනවා නම් ලකුණු දීමේදී ඒක සැලකිලි කරගන්න. Shall we call others? Excuse me. Shall we call others to come? Notice. Right, group number 1, those who join online, right? LKS 23. So, basically, lights are okay. Content, the coverage also okay. You covered these areas, general borrowings and the specific borrowings and general borrowings, and cover this capitalization period part, so that report point of view you can cover the same content, but presentation wise, right? So overall you have to improve your presentation skills. Presentation doesn't mean that just reading the slide, right? So it's like just read the slide is not. So you have to explain what is there, right? And when you are explaining calculation also, that you have to be very specifically you have to cover the rationale, right? Why you are doing this, and explain that part. So that you have to improve. But content wise, you can go ahead with the same content and cover the report. Yeah, qualifying asset, type of qualifying asset, example, specific borrowing, general borrowing, and formula. This is okay, right? You can have more elaboration. Normally, report should cover 10 to 15 page, right? A4, 10 to 15 page. You can have the report, normal guideline, reporting guideline, Times New Roman, right? 12 font size. Those are usual guidelines. Right. Then group number 2, the LKS 24 related party. Can I have the group number 2, right? So again, slides are good, right? And you have covered basically the disclosure standard. The content coverage, okay, good. And presentation, you could have a little bit improved the presentation part, and some of these areas. Now, for example, this slide, you could have used 3 slides here, because now Sigma PLC reporting entity 80% owned by Mr. Kamal. The same company, there cannot be 50% owned, then it is 130%. You take this separately, so you have Sigma PLC 80% owned Mr. Kumar. That is one scenario, right? The second scenario, can take Sigma 50% owned by my. So scenario explanation is correct, but this diagram is not good, right? They make common slide show එකක් ඉන්ටර්නෙට් එකේ තියෙනවා. මේක මීට කලින් groups වලත් තරම් තියෙනවා. එකම වැරද්ද නැවත කරනවා. Right? So මේ diagrams ටික we are using this, and when you are explaining this also, some of the presenters did not very much focus about this reporting entity and related party. ඒක හරියට focus කරන්න ඕනේ. දැන් අපේ reporting entity එක මෙන්න මේ හේතුව නිසා parent related party එකක්. Subsidiary related party, especially these type of, right? Meter related parties 4ක් තියෙනවා. ඒකට මේ explanation එකේ කොහොමද මේක එක සම්බන්ධ වෙන්නේ? Right? So in your explanation, some of the presenters explained, but some did not explain it in that level that audience can understand clearly what is this, how it's become a related party. And the data explain cannot report in detail. We can use the same diagrams. And මේක පොඩ්ඩක් modify කරනවා report එකේ දැන් කීපයක් එකට ගෙන්න එපා. ඒ කියන්නේ එක scenario එකකට එකක් ගන්න. උදාහරණයක් මේක අපේ reporting entity එක B නම් why subsidiary එක මේකට අපිට අදාළ නැහැ. අපි explain කරන එකට අදාළ නැහැ. ඒක ඔයා කතා කරන joint venture එක නම් you can leave out this part. why කතා කරනකොට this is different. ආයෙත් මේක අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ one when you are referring to one or two related parties එකිනෙකට සම්බන්ධ දෙකක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතකොට ඊට සම්බන්ධ නොවන එක ඉග්නෝර් කරන්න. right? ඉතින් මේ diagram සමහර වෙලාවට modify කරන්න වෙනවා report එකේ. presentation එකේදී කමක් නැහැ එකවර කීපයක් use කරන එක. ඒ කියන්නේ මේක දෙකට කඩන්න පුළුවන් නැත්තද? If you keep this reporting entity you can have one diagram this one. So this joint venture is related party. එතකොට මෙයාගේ මේ සම්බන්ධය නැති වුණත් මෙයා related party එකක් වෙනවා because it's joint control with this. Right? And if that is one scenario. Then this is another scenario. So you can separate these diagrams appropriately when it comes to the report. Right? When you are using the extract, this is good. Try to take the extracts more visible. Right? නැත්නම් මේක තව ටිකක් ලොකු කරන්න. මෙන්න මේ වගේ කලර් එක දාපු ගමන් මේක පේනවා. Right? So you have to choose from the annual report where this is very clearly visible. Right? මොකද සමහර වෙලාවට සමහර annual report වල මේක මීටත් වඩා light fonts තියෙනවා සමහර වෙලාවට. මීට වඩා හොඳට black dark font එකේ තියෙන examples ගන්න report එකට ගන්න. Okay. ඊළඟ ස්ටැටිස්ටික් එක තමයි විශේෂයෙන් relate වෙන්නේ අපේ company accounts වලට relate වෙන ස්ටැටිස්ටික් එකක් තියෙනවා. Right. Group number 3 impairment. Is that? Right. So here, when it comes to impairment, now you explain the concept, right? When a carried amount of asset is greater than the recoverable amount, the difference is the impairment loss. So carrying amount is the net book value, right? Recoverable amount, okay, I'll just comment about the group, then I'll come to the explanation. So then make it basically okay, the slides good, but you could have increase this. Then may make it one other idea තියෙනවනේ. ඒක ලොකු කරන්න. ඒ slide එකේ ඉඳ තියෙන්නේ පොඩි font එක use කරන්න. මේකේ තිබ්බ එක week එකක් point එකක් තමයි ඒක. බලන්න තව මේ slide එකේ තියෙන ඉඳ හොඳට use කරන්න. Like this. කලින් තිබුණාට වඩා much clear, right? Content is okay, right? මේව වුණා තව ටිකක් font size එක මේක lock කරන්න lazy. Right. මෙතන පොඩි හැම වෙලේම අපි light background එක use කරනවා නම් font එක dark කරන්න. Right. මේ දෙක අතර මැදට ගියොත් පොඩි ගැටලුවක් එනවා. මේක තව ටිකක් light කරන්න වෙනවා නැත්නම් මේක ටිකක් dark. Content is okay, carrying amount and you explain this in the recoverable amount, that is okay. Yeah, we're supposed to say present value, future cash flows, okay. But the main issue in this presentation was that you were overemphasis of the initial part. Only 1% try to cover the entire aspect of impairment. Right? Last percent. The impairment main background impairment background cover. It was the impairment of individual asset, impairment of cash generating unit, impairment with cost model, revaluation model, reversal of impairment. All that accounting aspect are covered by 1%. ඒක එහෙම නෙමෙයි වෙන්න ඕනේ. අර බෑග්ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් එකේ කෙනෙක් කවර් කරලා අර තුන තමයි ඩීටේල්ස් කතා කරන්න ඕනේ ස්ටෑන්ඩ්. ස්ටෑන්ඩ් එකේ කෝ එක එතන. right? ඒක කෙනෙක් මේ ටික ඔක්කොම බෑග්ග්‍රවුන්ඩ්. ඊළඟට ඒ නිසා මොකද වුනේ දැන් යාර ඊළඟට මෙතන impairment explain කරලා you use an example, there is no impairment loss. Then there is no example of explaining there is an impairment loss, suddenly you are moving to this impairment loss account. මම හිතුවා දැන් මේ slide එක දාපු ගමන් ආයෙත් ඊළඟ slide එක මේකම repeat කරන්න තිබුණා. හරි. දාලා මෙතන balance එක වෙනස් කරනවා right. වාගේ carried amount එක දෙනවා 2.5 million. ඒතකොට impairment loss එකක් එනවා 0.25 million. ඒකට journal entry එක දෙන්න ඕනේ. දැන් මේ 30000 කොහෙන්ද ආවේ? You just using a value, right? Example එකක් එනකොට impairment loss එක you are taking 30,000. At least you have to say that assume that there is an impairment loss of an asset 30,000. ඊට පස්සේ මේකෙන් පස්සේ මේක උනේ අර try to one person explain all these parts, right? The cash generating unit එක with the goodwill, without goodwill, there are so many areas, right? So which is difficult to present by one person. ඒතර මේ ටික report එකේදී මේ ටිකට examples එනවා, right? කියන්නේ examples එන්න ඕනේ individual asset, cash generating unit with goodwill and cash generating unit without goodwill, right? Reversal, okay, you can ignore the reversal example for the reporting part, but you should cover the main content, the impairment. So the initial part, okay, that you explained that in detail, but you could have done that when you have, say, another 3 more members to present, then it is okay, right? අදෙනෙක් විතර හිටියනම් හරි 4යි හිටියේ 4ෙන් 3 දෙනෙක්ම background එක. There is a kind of mismatch with sharing the content among the presenters. So ඒක වැඩි දෙනෙක් theory part එකට ගියා, calculation part එකෙන් main content එක skip කරලා. හැබැයි report එකේ වල main content එක include කරන්න වෙනවා. Right? Then group 5 investment property. Sorry, group 4. Intangible assets. Right, slides are good, right? We have used some diagrams, pictures, right? That's good. Hello. කියලා ලියලා තියෙනවා නමුත් එයා ගණනය කරලා අපි ලකුණු දෙන්නේ පොතන්ටද ලකුණු දෙන්නේ නෑ ඒ ස්ටේට්මන්ට් එක ඕනේ දැන් ලකුණු දෙන්න මොකද ලකුණු යන්නේ ඕනේ ඒක මම අනිත් අපි ලකුණු කීයක් දාලා දෙනවා ඒ දෙක අඳුර ගන්නකොට ඒ ලකුණු දෙක දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක හරි නෑ අපිට ඕනනම් ඒක හරි නෑ අපිට ලකුණු අරකේ ලකුණු දෙක දෙන්න. ගලපලා තියෙන ලකුණු දෙක දෙන්න පුළුවන් ඒක ගැළපීමනේ. අරක මොනවදද දෙක ඉනේ ඉලක්කමට ලකුණු දෙන්න එපා. දෙකක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right. So this one content good, right? Make හරියට ඊළඟට intangible assets. Suddenly මෙන්න මෙතන තියෙන පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක්. දැන් මේ ටික ලස්සනට එනවා order එකකට එනවා. මෙතන එනකන් එනවා. මේ slide එක එකපාරටම නිකන් අහසින් පාත් වුණා වගේ මැද්දට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා මේ revaluation of intangible assets. ඒක මොකද ආවේ? re-evaluation no ඊට පස්සේ ඔයාලා මේ පැහැදිලිව initial measurement subsequent measurement re-evaluation එන්නේ subsequent measurement වල පාර්ට් එකක් නේ මේ ස්ලයිඩ් එක නිකන් වෛරස් එකක් ආවා වගේ තමයි පාර්ට් මේක ලස්සන ෆ්ලෝ එකට යනවා